Hello guys, welcome to another problem in the series of coding. So we have with us a problem called reverse linked list where we have to reverse a singly linked list and the linked list is given as such. So we have to reverse it so that it becomes this. So let's start with the logic of the code and then move on to actually coding it. So for example, our linked list is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where 1 is pointing to 2, 2 is pointing to 3, 3 is pointing to 4, 4 is pointing to 5, and our head is 1. So this is our linked list, and 5 is pointing to null. So we have to reverse it so that we achieve a reversed linked list where 5 is pointing to 4, 4 is pointing to 3, 3 is pointing to 2, 2 is pointing to 1, and 1 is pointing to null. So let's see how we can do this. So let's start step by step. So first of all, 1 should point to null. So let's declare a previous variable and let's make it equal to null. Okay, initially, so this is our first statement where previous is null, and note that head is pointing to 1. Now see, we have to reverse this direction of the arrow. So the arrow is in forward direction, we have to make it such that it gets reversed to the backward direction. So for doing this, I will have to break this link and I will have to change it and make it to point towards this. Then I will achieve my input linked list equal to my output linked list. So this is what I have to do. So for doing this, see, if I do this, then in that case this is going to get lost. Why this is going to get lost? Because no one is pointing to this, no one is taking care of this guy, so this guy is going to get lost. Right now, when I have not done anything, my head dot next is pointing towards this, right? So head dot next is having the value of 2. So I will have to declare another variable that is able to take care of this guy. So I will declare it and call it next node. For example, I'm writing NN for short. So my next node is going to point to 2. So in this case, my linked list is not going to get lost. So the elements from 2 to 5 are going to remain safe. And now I can change this arrow. So since my next node is holding this part, so this part is not going to get lost. So I can break this chain and I can change the arrow. So now once I have declared next node equal to head dot next, I can make head dot next point towards previous. So head dot next is pointing towards previous and I have achieved the first part of my input equal to output. So now first part is done, moving on to the next part. So for next part, I will declare previous equal to head. Okay, so I will move forward and I'll declare previous equal to head. So now my previous is holding 1, head is also holding 1. So two guys need not hold the same 1. So I can move my head over to the next. So my previous is holding 1. So now my head can start holding 2. Okay, so 1 is taken care of, previous is holding it safely, so head can be declared equal to next node. So now head is holding 2. Now head and next node both are holding 2, so I need not have two guys holding the same guy. So I can move my next node over and I can make next node such that next node is holding the next variable, so 3. So now you see, we have just reversed it in the sense that we have reached this level where we were earlier. So earlier also we had the same problem where, see, this arrow could not have been reversed until next node variable came and it agreed to hold this part of the linked list for us. So now next node is holding this part of the linked list, so I can break this link. So by breaking this link, I will make this link point to this direction. So I have broken it and I have reversed it in this direction. So head dot next will point to previous. Okay, so I have achieved this part also. So now we can see that this part of my input matches exactly with this part of my output. So I have achieved some part of it. Now I will move over and I will do the same thing. So my previous variable will become equal to head. So once previous has become equal to head, so my previous is safely holding 2. Okay, so previous became equal to head and it is holding 2. So now my head variable can move forward and hold the next variable. So my head will become equal to next node. So Once this is done, I can move my next node variable so that it holds the next variable. So now you see previous is holding 2, head is holding 3, next node is holding 4. Again we have the same case. So next node is holding this part of the linked list, so I can break this chain free, and head dot next can hold previous. So once this is achieved, again I can give the statement where previous is equal to head. So in this part, previous becomes equal to head, so previous is holding 3 now, and head can get over and hold the next variable, so head will become equal to next node. So once head has become equal to next node, head is safely able to hold 4, so my next node can move over to 5, and my next node can hold this part. So my next node is holding this part, and now in this case I can break this chain again, and I can make it point towards this way. So head dot next can become equal to previous again. So by the way, this part of our input has become equal to this part of our output. Now I will again move my previous variable, and my previous will become equal to head. As soon as previous becomes equal to head, I can give the next line of code. When previous is safely holding 4, now my head can hold the variable that next node is holding. So as soon as this becomes true, next node can go over to the next variable, and next node can hold null. Now as soon as this happens, this chain can be broken and it can be transferred here, that is head dot next will be equal to previous. So as soon as this is done, this part of my input has become equal to this part of my output, and now next previous can equal to head and hold the variable that head was holding, and head can move over and go over to the next element. So see, we have successfully reversed the linked list. Now we notice that head has become equal to null. So as soon as head has become equal to null, we can just stop our iteration, and we can return this linked list. So this input linked list that we received has become equal to our output linked list, so we can return it. But see, previous is holding the first element, so we will have to return previous. Okay, head is not holding the first element, head has become equal to null, so be careful, and we will have to return previous. So previous will act like head, and it will hold the elements from 5 till the last element. So let's start coding this. So let's see how we can code this. So once we have written the logic, it will actually become quite easy to code this. So first thing that I will have to do is I will have to declare a previous variable. So let me declare a previous variable quickly, and let me call it previous. So list node star previous, so I'll write prev for short, that is equal to null. So this is the first thing that we have to do, and now we have to iterate over until head becomes null. So when head becomes equal to null, we will have to stop the iteration as we saw just now. So while head is not equal to null, we will have to keep doing the iteration. So the first iteration that we'll have to do is we will have to declare a next node variable, right? So next node will come and hold the variable that we want to hold for us, so that our elements don't get lost. So let's quickly declare a next node variable. So list node star, let me call it next node itself, is equal to head dot next. Okay, so it is able to hold the element that we wanted to hold, and then we can give head dot next is equal to previous. So now the chain is broken, and reversed in the next direction. So we have been able to achieve that. Now we can just move on to the next element. So previous will be equal to head, and head will be equal to next node. So this is it, and we will have to return previous. So we can return previous. So that's it, and it should work. Let's check if it's working. Yes, so this is accepted. Let's submit and see if it's working. Yes, so it's working. Thank you.